welcome to another video and another lesson. Today we are going to talk about the negative form of the present perfect tense. Before we go to our lesson, let's look at the picture here behind me. It's a conversation between a dentist and a patient. So the dentist is saying, "Please calm down. I haven't even touched your tooth yet." And the patient is answering, "I know, but you are standing on my foot." It's a funny illustration, and we have here the words that are highlighted in red color, haven't touched, and those words indicate the usage of the present perfect tense in the negative form. Again, it is used in a daily conversation. So we'll go to our lesson and discuss more details. As we know, the present perfect tense is used for unspecified time in the past, but today we are going to discuss its negative form. And let's look at the example that we have here. Has Tina lived in Paris? And the answer is no, she hasn't. So this form hasn't is actually the negative form of the present perfect tense. So let's move to our next slide and let's check the formation. The negative form is formed by a subject, have or has, plus negative particle not, and the third form of the verb. There is a difference what kind of subject or what pronoun we're using. Whenever we are using I, you, we, and they, in this case, we are going to use have not or haven't. I haven't seen him. You haven't seen him. We haven't seen him. They haven't seen him. However, when we are talking about he, she, or it, in this case, we are going to use the additional verb has and, of course, negative particle not. Has not, hasn't. He hasn't done this. She hasn't done this. It hasn't done this. And of course, remember that our third form of the verb is always here because we are talking about the present perfect, so you're using the third form of the verb. Let's check some of the other examples that we have. So our examples are, I have not or haven't eaten breakfast today. So actually this form, have not eaten, is a present perfect negative form. He has not or hasn't slept all night. Has not slept. It has not or hasn't snowed this winter. Hasn't snowed. And here, this slide actually talks about how do we answer the questions in a short form. So again, it depends what kind of pronoun you're using. I, you, we, and they always go with have. Have I lived here? And the answer could be either positive, I'll put plus here, or it could be negative. So again, have I lived here? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Have you lived here? Yes, you have. No, you haven't. Have we lived here? Yes, we have. No, we haven't. Have they lived here? Yes, they have. No, they haven't. And whenever our pronoun is he, she, or it, or in other words, a subject, then we're using has. Has he been here? Yes, he has. No, he hasn't. Has she been here? Yes, she has. No, she hasn't. Has it been here? Yes, it has. No, it hasn't. And a few more examples with our question and the answer. Has it been cold this week? No, it hasn't. It has been very warm. And again, the words that are highlighted in red color, all these words indicate the present perfect negative form. Has she worked as a doctor before? Yes, she has. She has worked as a doctor since 2018. Have they arrived too early? No, they haven't. They have arrived just on time. Very often we would also ask about the specific form, which is how long. Again, the question will start with this specific form. How long have I lived here? So you're asking about the duration, the time, because the time could be answered in various forms. So again, when you have I, you, we, they, you're using have. When you have he, she, and it, you're using has. How long have I lived here? How long have you lived here? How long have we lived here? How long have they lived here? How long has he lived here? How long has she lived here? How long has it lived here? And let's check the possible answers. So, an example, how long have you been here? And the answer for 2 hours. So we are talking about short period of time, just 2 hours. How long has she had a driver's license? Since July. So we could use the form that starts with the for. Remember, we were talking about that in our previous lessons. Or we could use since. And finally, we have a short conversation between Alex and Peter. So let's read their dialogue. How long have you worked here? Since May, but I have been a computer engineer for 6 years. Have you worked for other companies? Yes, I have. I have worked for 5 companies since the year 2000. Have you lived in Boston since 2000? Yes, I have. I like Boston. How long have you lived in Boston? I have lived here for 8 months now. However, the weather hasn't been nice for the last couple of weeks. It has been so rainy. So, this is the end of our short lesson today. Thank you again for being with us and watching our short lessons. As usually, we would appreciate if you hit the thumb button. Please don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends, and stay tuned and look for more videos from our school, from Highlands Community Theory and Technical